transmigrated into the male lead's vicious stepsister. 10 years later, I will end up in a miserable state. Logically speaking, I should be careful to please the male lead now to prevent him from turning evil in the future. But, I'm his sister, thirsty. I crossed my legs and ordered him to fetch tea and pour water. Hungry, I kicked his butt. Go get a cake for your sister. Later, the film emperor did a live interview. The host asked him who was at the top of his WeChat list that night. Beautiful sister topped the trending searches. Relatives and friends all said my mother was lucky, remarrying with a burden. She was still able to marry into the wealthy Shin family. Lin Huan, you will eat and drink well with your mother from now on. You will enjoy endless wealth and glory. Hearing this, I couldn't be happy, because I realized that I had transmigrated into a book. Even worse, I became the vicious supporting female character in a CEO novel. And my mother is the vicious main female supporting character. After moving to the Shin family, our mother and daughter went crazy, torturing the future male lead, Shin Yi, in various ways. Later, when he grew up, he began to take revenge on us crazily. In the end, my mother and I ended up miserably. I knew it. What others don't want won't be given to me. Damn it, the dog system is me. But it doesn't matter. Every cloud has a silver lining. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Just thinking about it, a deep voice sounded in my ear. You must be Xiaohuan. You are so beautiful. I'm Uncle Shen. This is my son, Shen Yi. You can get to know each other. I turned around and met Uncle Shen's kind eyes. Beside him stood a young boy of 8 or 9 years old. Shen Yi pursed his lips, his body tense, as if on guard against something. He looked at me with a cold expression, in order to avoid future tragedies. Logically speaking, I should keep a low profile now, or carefully try to please him, but my current identity is his sister. God knows, I've always dreamed of having a servant. Ah no, a handsome younger brother. Thinking of this, I didn't hesitate any longer. I went up and gave Shen Yi a bear hug. Hello, brother, I will be your sister from now on. Please take care of me. After speaking, I patted the boy's back. Solid and strong, a good seedling for work. Seemed to have not expected me to have such a move. Not only were the two adults stunned. Even the boy, who was originally a little wary, was dumbfounded. His body stiffened, his eyes widened in astonishment. I don't know if it's my illusion. Shen Yi's ear tips seemed to be red. Realizing this, I couldn't help but reach out and pinch his baby fat. So cute. As soon as the words fell, the boy's face turned red with a bang. Realizing this, he quickly pushed me away. Uncle Shen was a little dissatisfied with his attitude, but out of face, he didn't say anything. It was my mother who took another look at him. I know what she's thinking. It's nothing more than killing this child and letting me inherit everything from the Shin family. Finally, in a villa of more than 1,000 square meters, our mother and daughter made a queen-like laugh. The main thing is being very criminal, although my ultimate dream is to lie flat, but I don't want to lie in prison. In order to stop my mother from having those dangerous thoughts, I quickly grabbed her hand. Mom, I'm tired, can we go inside? Before my mother could speak, Uncle Shen had already spoken. Of course, the room is ready. Want to go take a look? I nodded quickly. The beautiful and exquisite princess room is even bigger than Shen Yi's room. When I closed the door, my mother immediately squatted down, reaching out and touching my face. Her face was full of tenderness. Baby, this will be your home from now on, Mom promises. You will be the happiest little princess. I pursed my lips. My heart filled with mixed feelings. Although my mother is a vicious female supporting character, it is undeniable that she is very good to me. My biological father was a gangster who bullied her. She was supposed to go to college, but instead, she ended up getting married and having a daughter. When I was little, my dad often abused her at home. For my sake, she endured it all, until one time, my dad smashed a wine bottle at her, accidentally injuring me. My mother didn't hesitate anymore. She immediately filed for divorce. After leaving with nothing, she worked tirelessly to earn money, all just to provide a better life for me. Later, she married a man who truly loved her. We thought life would be happy and harmonious, but unexpectedly, that man started setting his sights on me. She was furious and nearly killed him. Afterwards, she held me tightly, repeatedly saying, "I'm so sorry." Even in the original timeline, everything she did was ultimately for me, her daughter. Thankfully, there's still time. I won't allow that tragedy to happen again. I hugged her neck tightly, nuzzling close with affection. Yeah, I'm so happy. I even have a cute little brother now. Mentioning Shani made my mom's expression shift slightly, but seeing how much I genuinely liked him, she smiled again. Fine, if you truly like him, then get along well in the future, she said, affectionately pinching my cheek. The crisis averted, I let out a breath. After inspecting the 200 square meter apartment, I happily opened the door. Looking up, I met the dark eyes of a teenage boy standing outside. He stood at the doorway, as if about to knock. Oh, so you're the little brother, what's up? I approached him with a smile. The boy immediately took a half step back, stammering out, Dad, asked me to call you for dinner. Then he turned and walked away. I stared at his flustered back and couldn't help but laugh. The next second, his pace noticeably quickened. During dinner, Uncle Shin brought up the idea of transferring schools. The private school has excellent conditions in every aspect. It'll also be easier for the siblings to look after each other. Hearing that, my mother immediately looked at me. Once I nodded my approval, she also agreed. Shen-yi was 2 years younger than me and shorter in height. Because of this, he had been bullied frequently by classmates. This time, I'd get revenge on his behalf. The Shin family acted efficiently. The next day, I enrolled at the new school. Shen-yi was in 4th grade, and I was in 6th grade, but we were in separate buildings. I endured a torturous morning. As soon as the class bell rang, I rushed straight to Shen-yi's classroom, planning to have lunch with him. However, he wasn't there at all. This morning, I'd specifically reminded him about it. He had agreed at the time, realizing something was wrong. I quickly asked other students, Shen-yi, I saw him walk off with some boys from the class next door. Maybe they're his friends. Hearing this, I gasped sharply. In the original plot, Shen-yi always went around alone. If he had friends, that would be strange. Finally, I found them on the bathroom rooftop. The fragile figure was miserably crouched in the corner. Seeing me, his eyes became slightly red. Sister, seeing this, I was completely furious. Without the slightest hesitation, I rolled up my sleeves and rushed in. Who dares to bully my little brother? I'll beat you up. As I was mid-fight, a familiar voice rang out, Don't hit my sister. Shen-yi had somehow joined in. 4 versus 2, the scene went into chaos. Ultimately, the siblings, emerged victorious, but both sides were called to meet with parents. My mother arrived in a hurry, crouching down in front of me and carefully examining me. Baby, did you get hurt? I shook my head and patted my chest. A few little brats. No match for me at all. Hearing that, my mother sighed in relief, her brows relaxing. Good. Mother nearly had a heart attack, but when she glanced at Shen-yi beside her, her expression immediately stiffened. My daughter has always been well behaved. She never fights. Is it because of you that she got involved in this? Shen-yi seemed afraid of her. Lowering his head and not speaking, I quickly explained. They were bullying me, and my brother stood up for me. As I said this, I pulled him over. Mom, look, my brother's clothes are torn, and he has scratches on his face. He did it all to help me, so please don't scold him. Hearing this, my mother's expression softened slightly. I seized the opportunity to divert her attention, pointing at the 4 little brats, bullying new classmates, hitting girls. Is that what your parents taught you, aunties and uncles? They dare to hit people now. When they grow up, they'll dare to kill. I think you really need to educate them properly. Give them a good beating so they learn their lesson. Because of my status, the parents quickly expressed their views. Miss Shen is right. We will definitely educate them properly. Yes, I've wanted to beat this little rascal for a long time. He's always causing trouble. Please be generous and don't hold it against them, okay? I smiled and nodded. Okay, I'm such a good girl. Of course I'll agree. Have them pour my brother a cup of tea and apologize, and we'll call it even. As soon as I said this, the office fell silent. What, do you still want to call the police? My mother said coldly. Those people immediately shook their heads. They couldn't afford to offend the Shin family. In the end, they had no choice but to swallow their anger and do as they were told. It seemed that Shen-yi had been bullied more than once. His mother passed away early, and Uncle Shen was busy with his career and had almost no time to take care of him, so naturally, he wouldn't know what he was experiencing at school. But it doesn't matter, now his strong backer has arrived. Thinking of this, I walked over with a smile and took his hand. Don't be afraid, I'll protect you from now on. Hearing my promise, Shen Yi was stunned. After a long while, he responded with an okay. Because of this incident, Shen Yi's attitude towards me softened. In the days that followed, we got along better and better. Uncle Shen and my mother also went on their honeymoon with peace of mind. In the huge villa, only Shen Yi, the housekeeper, the nanny, and I were left. The weather was too hot on the weekend. Shen Yi and I tacitly agreed not to go out. During the afternoon nap, I was curled up on the sofa watching TV. Shen Yi was quietly sitting on the other side reading a book. The atmosphere was quite harmonious. I curiously glanced at the book in his hand. I thought to myself, as expected of the male lead, at such a young age, the books he reads are more complicated than my life. No wonder he's so deep and calculating when he grows up. Thinking of this, I stretched out my leg and kicked his butt. Go get me a drink, sis. As soon as I said this, the boy froze for a moment. Then he looked at me in disbelief. What, didn't you hear me? I sat up straight and deliberately put on a stern face. The next second, Shen Yi immediately jumped up from the sofa. I heard you. With that, he put down the book and walked quickly towards the kitchen. He came back not long after. Orange juice. Is that okay? Seeing me nod, he turned to leave, watching his back. I felt smug in my heart. Sure enough, a servant from childhood is the best. After getting the drink, Shen Yi obediently sat beside me, but I still noticed that he was glancing at me intentionally or unintentionally. Did he want a drink too? Realizing this possibility, I hesitated for a moment and handed him the orange juice I had left, with only one sip left. Here, for you. Hearing this, the boy immediately shook his head. I don't want to drink it. Then why are you always peeking? Seeing my disbelief, Shen Yi explained. I was worried, you might be allergic. Me, Shen Yi hesitated for a moment and said, I'm allergic to orange juice. Only then did I remember that he had severe allergies, so, there's no way there would be orange juice in the house. It seems my mother hasn't given up at all. I felt a little guilty and didn't dare to look at him at all. That night, I asked the aunt to pack up all the orange juice and take it away. After that day, I clearly felt Shen Yi's attitude towards me became much colder. Even under the same roof, constantly running into each other, he would try his best to avoid me. Having finally gained a younger brother, I naturally couldn't let go, so I decided to have a chat with him, but before I could even speak, he turned and went the other way. He flees, I chase, and there's no escape for him. Is there something you need? Blocked in his path. Shen Yi's tone was noticeably displeased. His little face was also cold. I didn't mind and sincerely apologized to him. I'm sorry, there won't be any more orange juice in the house from now on. Can you forgive me this time? Please. Shen Yi didn't seem to expect that I would apologize to him. He silently stared at me for 2 seconds. Finally, he nodded extremely unnaturally. Such an easily coaxed younger brother. I couldn't help myself. I reached out and touched his slightly curly hair. Just as I imagined, it was soft. My action came suddenly, and Shen Yi didn't react at all. Then, I quickly withdrew my hand and moved away from him. After all, you can't just touch a boy's head. In the end, Shen Yi actually ran away, and he ran very fast, as if I were some kind of monster. After that, I felt justified in bossing around this cheap younger brother. At first, Shen Yi resisted a little, but later, he compromised. Little Shen Yi, help your sister bring the fruit over. Okay, little Yi, come and see. Isn't my new dress pretty? It's alright. Later on, he would even take the initiative to help me with things. His small figure often moved back and forth in the huge villa. Occasionally, late at night, my remaining conscience would ache faintly, but soon I would find an excuse for myself. Without my laziness, how could his diligence be highlighted? One day, we were building blocks together. Halfway through, Shen Yi suddenly became irritable. Before I could ask, he had already knocked the blocks over. Sensing something was wrong, I subconsciously wanted to take his hand. Don't touch me. The next second, a sharp voice rang out. Shen Yi pushed me hard and then got up to leave. His step stopped just as he was about to step out. Only because Shen's uncle and my mother were standing at the door. The corners of their mouths, which were originally raised in a smile, froze. Seeing this, Shen Yi wrung his clothes helplessly. He wanted to say something, but my mother interrupted him. She thought Shen Yi was bullying me, biting her lip, apricot eyes faintly sparkling with tears. Honey, this child Xiao Yi doesn't seem to like our mother and daughter very much. I wonder if Huan Huan has been wrong during this time away. Hearing this, Shen's uncle's face changed instantly, almost without thinking. He opened his mouth and reprimanded Shen Yi. What kind of attitude is that? Apologize to Aunt Lin and your sister immediately. The moment the words fell, I saw Shen Yi's face turn a few shades paler. Seeing that he didn't speak, Shen's uncle became even more angry. He left a sentence, no food until you apologize, and turned around and went upstairs. Seeing this scene, I finally understood. The saying, a stepmother brings a stepfather, is true. Shen Yi's condition just now was obviously problematic. I was just about to ask about the situation when my mother grabbed my hand, her face full of vigilance. Baby, don't go over there. Be careful he hurts you again. After saying that, she pulled me to the side. Tell mommy, are you hurt, or is there anything uncomfortable about your body, besides pushing you? What else did he do? Looking at my mother's nervous expression, I quickly explained, I'm fine, it's not what you saw, Shen Yi didn't hurt me, it was an accident. However, my mother didn't believe it. She even thought Shen Yi had threatened me. You don't know, his mother has mental problems. What good can her son be? In a flash of inspiration, I suddenly remembered, Shen Yi does have mild irritability. This all actually had something to do with his mother. Shen Yi's mother had a very poor mental state, suffering from severe depression. Whenever she had an episode, Shen Yi would be beaten severely. The house was often in disarray, with broken bowls and leftover food scattered everywhere. Over time, his father stopped coming home. In that environment, Shen Yi lived for 7 full years. On the night of his 7th birthday, his nightmare finally ended, because his mother had committed suicide by slashing her wrist. And the young Shen Yi was diagnosed with intermittent explosive disorder. It seemed he had been taking medication to control it all these years, so why did he suddenly have a flare-up? Before I could figure it out, my mom spoke again. Shen Yi, stay away from Huan Huan in the future, or don't blame me for being rough with you. Shen Yi didn't say anything, but his eyes turned toward me. What are you staring at? You want to hurt my daughter again, don't you? My mom glared at him fiercely, then turned to me with a tender expression. Baby, Mom bought you a lot of things. Let's go check them out. With that, she took my hand and led me upstairs. At dinner, Shen Yi was indeed missing from the table. Uncle Shen was furious because he knew this meant Shen Yi hadn't apologized. This was a defiance, so he instructed the housekeeper, Shen Yi will not eat until he apologizes. I wanted to say something, but my mom gave me a look that silenced me. There was nothing I could do but secretly bring snacks to Shen Yi, just so he wouldn't go hungry. I was just about to knock on the door when it opened. Seeing me, Shen Yi clearly froze. I quickly handed him the snacks in my arms. Eat something, don't go hungry. He didn't take them. Instead, he stared straight at me. After a long pause, he finally spoke. Aren't you afraid of me? Honestly, I was afraid. After all, according to the book's ending, my own fate could only be described with one word, tragic. After the male protagonist regained possession of the family fortune, he nearly annihilated my mother and me. In the end, my mom died after being run over by a car, and my death came at the hands of a homeless man. Thinking of this, I shivered, but Shen Yi misunderstood my reaction and thought I was afraid of him. His expression darkened. He turned and slammed the door shut. After that, no matter how much I tried to explain, he refused to speak to me. My relationship with Shen Yi slowly grew distant. This state continued straight through high school, until the female lead, Lu Yumian, appeared. According to the book's description, she truly harbored deep hatred toward my mother and me. Like us, she was a single mother raising a child, but while my mom and I entered a wealthy household, she and her mother were forced to live in a slum. The comparison stirred deep resentment in Lu Yumian, and she began to approach Shen Yi, intentionally or otherwise, just to use him to eliminate my mother and me. She wanted to become the sole mistress of the Shen family. Later, she discovered Shen Yi only wanted to send my mother and me to prison. His goal wasn't to take our lives, so immediately, she decided to hire someone to commit murder. Therefore, the true cause of our mother-daughter tragedy was Lu Yumian. Realizing this, I decided to take action myself. As long as Shen Yi didn't have contact with her, none of the subsequent events would happen. but when I found Shen-yi, Lu Yumian had already accidentally spilled water on him. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to, this outfit must be expensive. How much? I'll pay you back. Normally so meticulous about cleanliness, Shen-yi's only reaction was to furrow his brows slightly. It must be the powerful charm of the protagonist. Before Shen-yi could say anything, I rushed forward. My brother's clothes were custom-made. Selling you wouldn't even cover the cost. If apologies worked, then what's the need for police? And hey, are you blind? There's a grown man sitting here. How could you spill water on him unless you did it on purpose? Hearing this, Lu Yumian's face turned pale immediately. She bit her lip, her eyes slightly reddening. I really didn't mean to. How much do the clothes cost? I'll work hard to pay you back. Even if I have to work 3 jobs a day. I'll definitely repay you, she said with a weak yet stubborn expression. Sure enough, Shen-yi couldn't withstand her plea. He glanced at Lu Yumian with a raised eyebrow. No need to repay me. Upon his words, Lu Yumian immediately smiled. As she left, she cast a triumphant glance at me. I was a bit angry. I asked Shen-yi why he did that. He didn't even lift his head, simply replying with one word, annoying. Me? So, am I the annoying one, or is she? Shen-yi looked up and coldly uttered 2 words. Both are annoying. After that day, I became Shen-yi's shadow. Wherever I was, Lu Yumian wouldn't dare to show up. For that, she hated me to the core. I didn't mind. I still clung tightly to Shen-yi, but I underestimated the heroine's aura. That day, Shen-yi came home very late. His clothes were covered in dust, and he had bruises at the corner of his mouth. When I asked, I found out that he had been ambushed by some vocational high school students today. Fortunately, a girl happened to pass by. She called the police, so nothing serious happened. Oh, I think she might be the one who bumped into me last time. My heart skipped a beat. I quickly guessed it was the heroine. Because of this incident, Shen-yi gradually began to take notice of Lu Yumian, knowing her family was poor. He even topped up her meal card for a whole year. If he heard someone mocking Lu Yumian, he'd step in to protect her. That day, Lu Yumian suddenly came to see me. She said, my mom is a shameless mistress, being able to marry into a wealthy family with an illegitimate child. You must have great skills in bed, right? Her eyes were icy. We're both motherless orphans. Why should your mother and you have such a good fate? Lin Huan, you should suffer like me, when I enter the Shen family. I'll kick you 2 shameless mother and daughter out. I couldn't take it anymore. Without hesitation, I rushed over, grabbed her hair, and said, you've got such filthy words. You deserve a slap. After saying that, I slapped her multiple times. Amid Lu Yumian's screams, Shen-yi appeared. He frowned, his face dark. Let her go. Hearing that, Lu Yumian immediately widened her eyes, tears welling up, playing the victim perfectly. Shen-yi, save me, Lin Huan's going to beat me to death. At that moment, to avoid offending the male protagonist, I should let go immediately, but I was the older sister. His words were useless, so I raised my hand and slapped Lu Yumian again. Enough, the teacher is coming. I still wanted to hit her again, but Shen-yi had already grabbed my hand. Stop making a scene, sister. How many years had it been since I last heard that name? Too long. I'd long forgotten. Now, for a woman, Shen-yi actually called me sister. Thinking of that, my heart turned both joyful and bitter. In the end, I let go. The news of me hitting someone spread quickly. Because of the Shen family's power, no one dared to say anything, but there was still loud gossip from around. Later, somehow, it even reached my mother's ears. She asked me why I had hit someone. Baby, you're not impulsive. Did that person provoke you? Tell mommy what happened. Knowing I couldn't hide it anymore, I told her the truth. Then my mother fell into silence for a long time. I guessed what she was thinking, so I added, Lu Yumian is just jealous. Don't take it to heart. My mother nodded, her expression unusually serious. Mom isn't a mistress. I met Mr. Shen after his wife passed away. So don't believe those rumors. Okay, as a novel transmigrator, I naturally knew that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten so angry and attacked immediately. Also, stay away from Shen-yi from now on. That woman knows him. She might be closely connected to him. After speaking, she gently stroked my hair. Mom won't let anyone hurt you. I told her that this had nothing to do with Shen-yi, but she didn't believe it. Uncle Shen has already promised to give you shares in the company. Shen Yi must know, he's retaliating. Silly girl. After that, no matter how I explained it, my mom was convinced it was Shen Yi's problem. That night, she whispered sweet nothings in Uncle Shen's ear. The next day, when I came home from school, a violent argument erupted from the study. After a while, Shen Yi slammed the door and left. Before leaving, he took a deep look at me. His expression was extremely indifferent. I was about to chase after him to explain when the sound of a heavy object falling came from the study. In the ward, Uncle Shen was diagnosed with stomach cancer. My mom wiped away tears and pulled me out of the door. She said she would accompany Uncle Shen abroad for treatment. Before that, Mom will definitely handle everything. As long as you're a member of the Shen family, you'll have a share of the family property. Mom will have Uncle Shen make a will to ensure you'll have no worries about food and clothing for the rest of your life. As she finished speaking, I met a pair of cold eyes. It was Shen Yi. He sneered and turned around, entering the room. Before I could speak, my mom immediately followed him in. I knew she was guarding against Shen Yi, afraid he would say something he shouldn't. Over the years, although she hadn't abused Shen Yi, she hadn't liked him either. In fact, the two of them had never had a calm conversation. When it came to property, my mom would definitely not back down. Sure enough, a quarrel quickly broke out inside. Shen Yi apologized to Aunt Lin immediately. Why? I didn't do anything wrong. Still being stubborn. I've heard about what happened at school. I understand you have resentment, but how can you slander Aunt Lin as a mistress? It turned out Uncle Shen had misunderstood. Realizing this, I quickly went in to explain, no, this has nothing to do with Shen Yi. For a moment, everyone's eyes were focused on me, especially my mom, who kept winking at me. I turned my face away and took a deep breath. I told Uncle Shen what had happened from beginning to end. You misunderstood, Shen Yi. He has never said anything bad about me or Mom. Hearing this, Uncle Shen's expression improved a bit, but as a father, he couldn't possibly apologize to his son because of this. Shen Yi seemed to know this too, so he seemed not to care at all. I remember the book mentioned that Shen Yi admired his father the most. It seemed he wasn't as indifferent as he appeared to be. Right, thinking of this, I clenched my fists. I looked up and said, word by word, Uncle Shen, you wrongly accused Shen Yi. Shouldn't you apologize to him? As soon as I said this, the ward became quiet. The first to react was my mom. She walked over to me and gave me a slightly reproachful look. There's no reason for a father to apologize to his son. Besides, it's just a small matter. It's good to talk it out. If you guys are okay, go back first. I'll be here. After speaking, she winked at me again. I was about to open my mouth when Uncle Shen's voice came from my ear. It's true that I was wrong, Shen Yi. I'm sorry, Dad wrongly accused you. When I came out, I saw that Shen Yi's eyes were slightly wet, so, how could he not care? Because of this, my relationship with Shen Yi improved a lot. Seeing this, Lu Wei couldn't sit still. She started a live broadcast, tearfully recounting my bullying of her. I know I'm insignificant and probably no one will pay attention. But if I don't stand up today, there will be thousands upon thousands of me tomorrow, suffering in agony from bullying. The bullies are the chosen ones, with power and influence. But do we ordinary people deserve to suffer all this? Then, she released the video from that day. With tears in her eyes, she looked up and smiled. If that's the case, then I can only say, I'm sorry for being born a human. After saying that, she took out a fruit knife and slashed her wrist. Soon, this matter became a trending topic. Some netizens dug up my identity and Weibo. The comments section was full of abuse. Being rich and powerful means you can do whatever you want. Killing someone is so easy. I suggest investigating the bully's whole family. To raise such an aggressive daughter, the family probably isn't any better. I saw that woman, just now. This kind of scum who bullies others doesn't deserve to live. When I saw this comment, I was in the hospital parking lot. Just as I was about to open the car door, a woman wearing a mask rushed over with a fruit knife. Bitch, go to hell. Before I could react, I was suddenly pulled into someone's arms. Shen Yi hugged me tightly, and the fruit knife heavily slashed his arm. He turned around and kicked the woman over, fiercely saying, "How dare you touch my sister?" This was the first time I saw him so angry, as if I was a very, very important person to him. In the end, the crazy woman was arrested, and Shen Yi was hospitalized. in the hospital, I met Lu Yumian. Her wrist wound was inflamed, and she was there to get it redressed. Seeing me, she smiled triumphantly. Miss, how does it feel to be a rat crossing the street? Oh, right. You must be wondering where I got the ability to get the school surveillance video. To tell you the truth, it was your dear brother, Shen Yi, who helped. After saying that, she smiled. Being betrayed by the people closest to you doesn't feel good, does it? If you obediently kowtow and apologize to me, perhaps I can consider letting you go. Old and new grudges surged into my heart. I couldn't help it, grabbed Lu Yumian's hair, and dragged her into the toilet. Then, I pressed her entire face into the toilet bowl. You like being bullied so much. Okay, I'll fulfill your wish. Lu Yumian struggled like crazy, but still couldn't break free from my control. She could only bury her face in the dirty water, making muffled noises. Lin Huan. Let me go. Glug, ugh, I laughed to the sky. Your mouth is so dirty, you should wash it more in the cesspool. I thought of the ending in the book, and the knife in the crazy woman's hand. I went completely insane. In the original book, after the male lead's father died, our mother and daughter were kicked out of the house by the male lead. However, Lu Yumian was not satisfied with this result. She hired someone to kill us. The moment the car crashed over, my mother pushed me away. Originally, she had a chance to survive, but a dozen seconds later, she suffered dozens of impacts. In the end, not even a complete body could be found. Lu Yumian was still not satisfied. 7 days later, she found a group of homeless people, and tortured me to death. Coming back to my senses, I let go, watching Lu Yumian lie on the ground, barely breathing. Her pure and innocent little face was full of filth. I couldn't help but laugh. Go ahead, keep crying. Use that face to tell the world that I bullied you. Go on. Hatred made the end of my sentence rise sharply. Then, I stomped on her face twice more. Only then did I turn around and leave. In the ward, Shen Yi was waiting for me. What took you so long? Did the doctor agree to discharge you? I didn't answer, but asked him. You helped Lu Yumian get the school surveillance video. Seeing Shen Yi nod, my breathing stopped for a few seconds. Did he not know that the video would hurt me? Or did he simply not care? Thinking of this, my eyes suddenly felt a little sore. But, no matter what, I was his sister. After a while, I still didn't give up. I opened the phone recording from just now. Shen Yi doesn't even treat you like a sister. Otherwise, how could he help me? Thanks to the video he gave me. Otherwise, I really wouldn't know how to kill you. Now you're universally hated online. You could have 100 mouths, and still couldn't explain it away. Hearing those words, Shen Yi's expression immediately darkened. He looked at me and said, slowly and deliberately, first, I had no idea about this matter, and I never intended to hurt you. Second, it was Lu Yumian who said her talisman was lost and wanted to check the surveillance footage. So I helped her. After hearing Shen Yi's explanation, I suddenly realized the truth. It had all been Lu Yumian's conspiracy. Her purpose was to drive a wedge between me and Shen Yi. That night, I posted a clarification on Weibo, explaining everything. Within a few days, a wave of scandals about Lu Yumian suddenly flooded the internet. Her mother, having been a mistress, was even exposed. Soon after, videos surfaced showing the legal wife assaulting and verbally abusing her and her daughter. It turned out that Lu Yumian had entered this international high school not by merit, but through her mother's wealthy benefactor. There was actually another truly poor yet academically gifted student who had been bullied by Lu Yumian and developed severe depression. Public opinion escalated rapidly. With no way out, Lu Yumian came to Shen Yi begging for help, tears streaming down her face. She sobbed, everything online is a lie. Someone is framing me. She glanced at me as she spoke. Now I can't defend myself. I can't go back to school, and my mom is ill. Shen Yi, you wouldn't watch me die, would you? Upon hearing this, Shen Yi fell into a long silence, long enough that I began to feel uneasy. According to the story's plot, he'd most likely soften. Just as I was thinking this, a cold voice came from beside me. Who do you think you are? Why should I help you? The words landed, and Lu Yumian's crying abruptly stopped. Her face froze. Just as she was about to speak, Shen Yi casually added, don't you know it was my work that exposed all those scandals? I don't know whether they're true or false, this time. Her face went completely white. After that, Lu Yumian disappeared from my sight. I heard that her mother was a gambling addict and, after losing her benefactor, had actually sold her off to settle debts. When I heard that news, Shen Yi was sitting beside me reading a book. His expression was completely blank. Seeing that, I mentally relaxed. But then, I caught sight of the book in his hand. It was about acting. When I asked, it turned out Shen Yi actually wanted to enter the entertainment industry. Does Uncle Shen approve? The eldest heir of a wealthy family surely wouldn't allow him to pursue such a career. As expected, Shen Yi shook his head. He doesn't approve. But he can't stop me. Then he looked directly at me. What, are you going to try to talk me out of it, too? It was clear that he was serious. I immediately shook my head and expressed my full support. To make sure he believed me, I added, my little brother is this handsome, born to be a big star. Hearing that, Shen Yi smiled. Then I'll have to work hard, so I don't disappoint your expectations. But Uncle Shen was furious when he found out, threatening that if Shen Yi didn't listen to reason, the Shen family's wealth would leave him with nothing in the future. In response, Shen Yi didn't care at all. The relationship between father and son plummeted to an all-time low. I had thought my mother would be the happiest person. Never had I expected that she, for the first time ever, advised Uncle Shen not to be angry with Shen Yi, and even said she would support his dream. He probably just wants to walk that path for his own mother, doesn't he? Upon hearing her words, Uncle Shen fell silent. Shen Yi's mother had wanted to be an actress when she was young, but under family pressure, she had to marry early and start a family. Later, she suffered severe depression and committed suicide. With no one to stop him, Shen Yi entered the entertainment industry as he wished. At age 28, he won a Best Actor award. When the host asked who he was most grateful for during this journey, sent him a WeChat message telling him the good news. When the camera panned to the notes, the whole audience cheered. That night, Beautiful Sister topped the search trends. After hearing the first story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Next, there is another similar story. Let's continue to see. Fu Shaoxing cheated. My best friend urged me to get even with the jerk by sleeping with Fu Shaoxing's uncle, brother-in-law, brother, and bitter rival. She even offered to get me 10 male models. I firmly refused, unconvinced. My friend recommended her younger brother, a rare 20-year-old Chinese man, no vices at all, broad chest, high ass, strong waist, physically robust and full of vigor. He can do it 10 times a night, definitely worth it for you. I was shocked. 10 times. At that moment, a butler's voice came from behind. Oh my, when did the young master return? Why is your face injured? I'll call Dar, Xia. The on-screen comments exploded, sighed Alara. Don't be foolish. Your brother is the most naturally gifted man in the entire novel. He'll absolutely satisfy your cravings. You too, her with her addiction, him with his skin hunger disorder. No one's more perfectly matched. I have an addiction, but for 4 years of marriage, Fu Shaoxing and I never shared a bed, because he was sexually indifferent, until over 20 days ago, he suddenly proposed divorce. That's when I realized, he wasn't sexually indifferent. It was just that the one who aroused his desire wasn't me. I immediately signed the divorce papers, just waiting for the cooling-off period to pass so I could take my share of the assets and leave. My best friend went off on Fu Shaoxing, urging me to retaliate like a novel heroine, sleep with Fu Shaoxing's uncle, brother-in-law, brother, and bitter rival, and even get 10 male models. I refused outright. Zhu Xian didn't understand. Why, look at these heroines. Their arranged marriage partners cheated too. The protagonist slept with the uncle, and the bad guy was forced to call her auntie. So satisfying. And this one, his sullen uncle had a long-time secret crush on the heroine. When the jerk cheated, he finally won her heart, turning the ex-husband into a disgraced nephew. This one, his wife caught the semi-after husband cheating, and the heroine told the rival to risk his life for her. Ugh, I shoved a piece of cake into her mouth. Cheating by itself violates social moral norms. His lack of morals is his business, but if I ruin my own body for revenge against a trash person, that's not satisfaction, it's self-destruction. Besides, who knows what their private lives are like? I don't have to sleep with a man to feel satisfied. My illness was inherited from my dad. When I first noticed something was wrong, I began treatment. For years, I've kept it well under control. Then, out of nowhere, a barrage of on-screen comments appeared. What are you pretending for? Modern women don't set up chastity arches. Can you not pretend? Jealous we're all having a harem, trying to seduce our heroine's entourage, but end up only eating lettuce instead. Thank goodness the protagonist hasn't touched her in 4 years, otherwise, I really couldn't stand watching the pair doing it. The Qing dynasty ended long ago. Now everyone's open-minded, you can't attract a high-quality man. So you manipulate your best friend instead. What the heck? Then my brother, Zhu Xian suddenly piped up. Zhu Xian cackled, a rare 20-year-old Chinese man, no vices, a broad chest, high ass, strong waist, physically strong and full of vigor, 10 times a night, definitely worth it for you. As soon as I spoke, a butler's voice rang out from behind. Oh my, young master, when did you come back? Why is your face injured? I'll call Dar. Yeah, just a surface wound. No need. Zhao Shiha wore a Louis Vuitton light gray short-sleeve t-shirt. With every movement, the outline of his strong, well-defined chest and abdominal muscles was faintly visible beneath the loose, smooth fabric. His facial features were sharp and symmetrical. His quiet nature and overly sharp, piercing gaze lent his handsome appearance a certain aggressiveness, as though a wild leopard camouflaged in the jungle. I stared at him. My mind was flooded with questions. When exactly did he come back? How much of the conversation between me and Zhu Xian did he hear? Bullet comments. Don't be foolish, girl supporting character. Brother is the most naturally talented guy in the entire novel. He'll give you so much more than enough to satisfy your addiction. Are you crazy? Don't you know the male supporting character belongs to the heroine? Stop making up weird ship pairings like this. You two, one woman addicted to attention, one man with skin hunger. Nobody fits better than you two, me. Wait, does Zhu Shiha have skin hunger? Something wrong. The young man's voice pulled me back to reality. I snapped back to awareness and realized Zhu Shiha had already stood behind the sofa where Zhu Xian and I were sitting, looking at me. His eyes were classic upturned phoenix eyes, double eyelids, narrow and delicate, with jet-black pupils. I'd just been gossiping behind his back about such a color-filled topic, and now I was meeting his eyes head-on. I felt a bit awkward. But I pretended it was nothing. That face. Was it a punch injury? Zhu Shiha pulled out 2 invitations. There's a match on Saturday. Zhu Shiha loved boxing. At age 12, his aunt had given him a boxing club as a birthday gift. 2 years ago, when he turned 18, he took over management of the club himself. You're going to compete? Zhu Xian asked. I'll go then. I doubt Sister Shu he will. She hates boxing. Can't stand watching this kind of match at all. Zhu Shiha turned to me. You not coming? Thanks, but no, I won't go. I wish you victory. Zhu Shiha pressed his lips together. This was his habitual little move when displeased, but before I could clearly notice it, he nodded. Thanks. Your words are lucky. His figure disappeared around the second-floor corner. Zhu Xian suddenly grabbed my shoulder. I just realized something. Zhu Shiha never called you sister, right? Me? I guess not. He always called me by my name, Zhu Xian. Oh, I found a crush. A crush? Me? She sparkled with excitement. When the younger man doesn't call you sister, his intentions are a little wild. Me, Zhu Xian. Don't act like you don't know how great a younger brother is. Don't mistake an older man for a treasure. Sibling love is sweeter than first love. You're 4 years older than him, younger sister, older brother. 4 years older and blessings abound. He's a lucky man. Me, delete your novel reading app. Bullet comments. Even the side characters are getting into it. Dare to fan the flames and pair off the protagonist brother with the cute villainess. Doesn't she know all the good guys in novels belong to the heroine? This is kinda hot to watch. You will only get hurt if you obsess over every coupling. The bad boy likes a mature, radiant heroine. Okay, this staged ultra-pretentious supporting character. He'd punch her 100 times straight. Before bed, I learned from the bullet comments that the world I was in was a novel called Asterisk Throwing Off the Degenerate Coward. I instantly became his aunt. Asterisk Fu Shaosheng was the male lead. The female lead Lin Jinghuan, the one cheating with Fu Shaosheng, was also the future wife of Fu Shaosheng's nephew, me. 6. The novel begins with Lin Jinghuan catching her fiancé having an affair with her best friend. She quickly punches the jerk and kicks the best friend. then turns around and attends a cocktail party, and when Fu Shaoxing is lured into a trap by another minor female character, she takes the chance to coolly sleep with him. Fu Shaoxing had severe obsessive-compulsive disorder and was emotionally cold. But after Lin Jinghuan's one-night stand, he completely lost himself. Became obsessed and desperate, his OCD and emotional coldness cured, his doctor friend immediately said he'd finally met true love. From then on, the two of them roamed the seas, making the world their bed. But just as Fu Shaoxing began to fall deeply in love, Lin Jinghuan brushed her hair aside and told him she was just playing around. To prove his sincerity, Fu Shaoxing immediately divorced her, then she ran, and he chased. She had nowhere to hide. She acted suggestively toward men left and right. He grew jealous and mad, his eyes blood-red, and I, the pridefully pretentious supporting female character, had both despised and envied Lin Jinghuan's behavior, both her disdain for her pretentiousness and the fact that so many high-quality men adored and loved her. So as expected, I turned dark. I once exposed Lin Jinghuan by drugging her drink during a banquet. I didn't know why the medicine in this novel was so widely available. Seems even the side characters could pull something like that out. I'm not going to ask. Afraid to know. Anyway, I drugged Lin Jinghuan, hoping she'd end up with those two mouth-breathing, toothy bosses, Boss Wang, Boss Shang, or whatever. But Lin Jinghuan predicted my plan. I got outsmarted and paid back in my own game. From that moment on, I couldn't survive without men. To highlight Lin Jinghuan's glamorous, clear-minded charm, the author gave her suitors who were rich, handsome, and utterly devoted no matter what, like Zhu Shihe. As for me, just a supporting character, I was only ever involved with fat-headed bosses, old creepy stalkers, or boring losers. In the end, I contracted a disease and died hideously. The comment bullet said those two crazy fools always end up in bed after running and chasing each other. Right now, they're actually doing it. I thought about it. Then dialed Fu Shaoqing's number. What's up? Fu Shaoqing's voice came through. I could faintly hear his deep, labored breathing. A few nights last month, I'd called him and heard sounds like that too, but he'd always brushed them off. Worse, he was even talking to me about business on the phone at the time. That meant I'd already been part of their game. Fu Shaoqing, what are you laughing about? Nothing. Where are you? What are you doing? Home, working out. Isn't making love also a kind of workout? I sneered inwardly. Then keep training hard. By the way, I'm not coming home to stay for a while. Fu Shaoqing, got it. Bullet comments. The heroine will go to the male lead and female supporting character's house tomorrow. They'll be having intense sex all over the villa. Putting myself in the supporting female's shoes, the lead's actions are really hard to judge. They're a marriage of convenience. The male lead doesn't love her. What's so hard to judge about him finding true love? The heroine will wear the supporting character's dress tomorrow, pretending to be high and mighty, just like a rich girl partying with fake purity. Fine, I'll go see how they're roughhousing. I'd absorbed too much information before bedtime, and in my sleep, I dreamed I'd truly become the novel's villainous female supporting character. On the day Fu Shaoqing and Lin Jinghuan held their wedding, the ceremony was broadcast across every platform. Zhu Shihe stood in the groomsman line. He loved Lin Jinghuan deeply. Even though the Zhu family had been destroyed by Fu Shaoqing, he hadn't turned evil, just quietly protected his girl. In a run-down rented apartment, I cried. The lecherous voices and movements of a few men made me nauseous. I wanted to run, to kill them, but my body and mind felt controlled by some invisible force, telling me I liked them, commanding my limbs to move in sync with them. I was trapped in a nightmare. I don't know how long it lasted. Then a slight jostling came with a man's anxious voice. Xiang Shuhe, wake up, wake up. I couldn't open my eyes, only felt my breathing grow rapid, tears uncontrollably pouring out. I felt myself being held by a strong body. I struggled frantically. A gentle voice sounded beside my ear. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's over now. I beat those bastards away. No one will bully you, Xiang Shuhe. Don't be afraid. Finally, I managed to open my eyes. The fresh scent of sea salt lingered in my nostrils. The young man's embrace was vast and encompassing. I was fully under his protection. Zhu Shihe, I shoved him. Zhu Shihe's comforting motions paused for a moment. Then he let go and stepped back. I got along well with Zhu Xuan, so the Zhu family had a special guest room for me. And I'd been staying there these past few nights. Sorry, I didn't mean to intrude, Zhu Shiha explained. I was going downstairs, heard you sounded like you were screaming for help, tapped the door, but no response, had no choice but to use the spare key. Thank you, I sat up, my gaze locking onto his face. Zhu Shiha, what's wrong? I took a deep breath, forcing myself not to confuse the Zhu Shiha from the novel and the dream with the man in front of me. Tell me, what kind of girl do you like? The room went silent. Zhu Shiha narrowed his eyes slightly. What do you mean? The light fell on the top of his head, and in the interplay of light and shadow, his eyes were like those of an eagle waiting for an opportunity, sharp and dangerous. But I'm not afraid. I came to see him with a gift when he was just born. I've held him, held his hand. I've pinched his little face, fed him. I've participated in every stage of his growth. I've watched him grow from a little bean sprout into a man. You don't need to know what I mean, I said. Just tell me what kind of girl you like. There are plenty of bright and mature women in the circle. Zhu Shiha can like anyone, but not Lin Jinghuan. Zhu Shiha lowered his eyes. I followed his gaze and saw his hand on the cool quilt clench, the veins on the back of his hand slightly bulging. Not long after, he looked at me again, his voice low. You, what? You, Xiang Shuha. I like you. Ha, 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 ha. My brain crashed. No, you. Zhu Shiha stared straight at me, but his hand covered my hand on the quilt. The man's slightly calloused palm touched my skin, and I reflexively flinched, but I couldn't escape. He pinched my hand, grabbed it, his fingers forcefully squeezed between my fingers, the touch of hard bones, the excessively high body temperature. Let go. I tried to steady my breathing, looking at him calmly. Zhu Shiha remained unmoved. I pushed him with my other hand. He grabbed my wrist and suddenly leaned in. I leaned back subconsciously, and fell back on the bed. Zhu Shiha knelt on the bed with one leg bent, pinning my wrists to the pillow, one hand intertwined with mine. I said, I like you, Xiang Shuha. I've never seen Zhu Shiha like this. There was a fire hidden in his eyes, so hot, so deep. I turned my head to avoid his breath. Since you don't want to tell the truth, then I'll pretend I didn't ask anything. I'm going to sleep. Please leave. Zhu Shiha frowned. Why do you think I'm not telling the truth? Because you should like the unparalleled heroine. You are the heroine's most loyal simp male supporting character. Male supporting character. Do you want to hear what you're saying? Is a male supporting character who doesn't like the heroine still called a male supporting character? But, I think they are so good together. When I was reading the novel, I didn't see that the male supporting character liked the female supporting character. Love that can't be felt isn't love. So, in conclusion, the male supporting character is definitely talking nonsense. Talking nonsense is unlikely. Zhu Shiha is not the type to joke. But a saying is right. Love that is not felt cannot be called love. I haven't felt your affection. I ignored the discomfort he aroused in my body. If you leave now, I'll pretend I never heard these words. And I'll still treat you like a younger brother in the future. I don't need that. Zhu Shiha's slender fingers caressed between my fingers. I don't need you to treat me like a younger brother. You can't feel my affection. But how can I make you feel my affection? Xiang Shuha, tell me. He grabbed my hand and pressed it to his face. I feel like I can never catch up with you. Every time I think I've finally grown up a bit, and can reach you, you take another big step forward. I was stunned. Zhu Shiha, Zhu Shiha turned his head and rubbed the back of my hand. Don't. I couldn't stand his breath. My breathing became disordered. Xiang Shuha, I'm 20 years old. Zhu Shiha hooked the corners of his lips, a little mischievous, but also very serious. Your divorce cooling off period ends in 7 days, and then, I will pursue you openly and honestly. Thanks to Zhu Shiha. The illness that could be relieved by taking medicine before came on fiercely tonight. And I even had a NSFW dream in the second half of the night. It was Zhu Shiha. When I opened my eyes, I felt like the sky was falling. The comments also didn't expect the plot to take this turn, and the screen was filled with, I tried to find clues in the plot mentioned in the comments that Zhu Shiha liked me in the novel, but unfortunately, I found nothing, and only gained a pair of panda-like dark circles. The next day, Zhu Xian even laughed at me for stealing a cow last night. The comments were all, stole your brother. The culprit came downstairs, and I glared at him irritably while Zhu Xian turned around to talk to the cook. Zhu Shiha raised his handsome eyebrows slightly, having just finished exercising and taking a shower. He was wearing a sleeveless black t-shirt and matching shorts, with broad shoulders and long legs. Damn it, he was handsome and charming. If I hadn't had that dream, I might have appreciated this vigorous masculine body. Why are you turning your head away? Don't you understand that food and sex are human nature? It's hard to see this kind of body outside even if you pay for it. I can't accept it. The male supporting character can only be the female lead simp. He. Black doesn't make you look slimmer either. Great, the female supporting character is in luck. Me, after breakfast, I said I was going back to get something. Zhu Xian didn't suspect anything. But this time she seemed determined to make me the female lead of her Jiedilian novel. She insisted on having Zhu Shiha send me back. I didn't want Zhu Shiha to come along, firstly because his feelings for me were really too much for me to digest in a short time. Secondly, I was going back to collect evidence. What's the point of Zhu Shiha following me, watching those two lunatics getting it on with me? It's awkward just thinking about it. Also, I didn't want him to meet Lin Jinghuan. Worried that seeing Lin Jinghuan would trigger his male supporting character persona, but I couldn't say any of these reasons. Zhu Xian was in high spirits, and Zhu Shiha, contrary to his usual taciturnity, said that he happened to be going out and it was on my way. I don't believe him. However, I was manipulated by these siblings. In the end, I still got into a car with Zhu Shiha, but after getting in the car, I figured it out. Zhu Shiha just had his 20th birthday. And men of this age are not yet settled and often do whatever comes to mind. Perhaps he's just momentarily interested in me. As for him and Lin Jinghuan, if seeing people triggers his male supporting character persona, then no matter how I intervene, it will be useless. Don't worry about things that haven't happened yet. Arrived at Luxua Bay, the comments said that Fu Xiaocheng had already brought Lin Jinghuan over, and didn't even bother to find an excuse to have the park manager keep watch for him. The housekeeper, servants, and security guards at home were all given a holiday by Fu Xiaocheng. Now it's just him and Lin Jinghuan at home. He probably thought I wouldn't be back. The comments were reporting in real time, saying that Fu Xiaocheng and Lin Jinghuan have been at war for 40 minutes. And have moved from the living room to my bedroom. Me, entered the living room, a hard-to-describe smell wafted over. When I got to the door of my room, they were performing with great enthusiasm inside. I'm just your business marriage partner. We're a couple in name only. You can't do this to me. This is Lin Jinghuan, baby. Change the role. Fu Xiaocheng's voice was hoarse. Why change? Don't you think it's exciting? She and I are really just a couple in name only. I haven't touched her. You can see that we sleep in separate rooms. I only have you, only you. Then who knows? My ears were covered. I turned my head and met Zhu Shiha's well-defined profile. The veins on his forehead were throbbing, his jawbone was tense, and his tightly pursed lips showed his mood at the moment. Perhaps sensing my gaze, Zhu Shiha looked over. I looked away in a disguised manner and took out my phone to prepare to record. At this moment, Zhu Shiha suddenly approached, removed one hand covering my ears, and whispered in my ear, "Xiang Shuhua, don't be sad for him." I was taken aback and looked at him again, but I didn't have time to see his expression clearly. I realized we were so close, forehead to forehead, close enough to feel the warmth of his breath. My limbs went weak. Zhu Shiha, take your hands off me and stay away. I recorded a short reality show clip at the door with a blank expression, then told Zhu Shiha to wait there. I went inside, grabbed the water glass from the bedside table, walked to the French window, and splashed it at the two crazy people who had just changed positions and were now facing away from the bedroom door, going at it like trains. "Ah!" Lin Jinghuan screamed. Fu Xiaocheng immediately protected her in his arms. "Xiang Shuha, what's wrong with you?" Bang! I smashed the glass into pieces. "I should be asking you that. We're in a business marriage. I wouldn't interfere with who you're having affairs with outside or how many mistresses you keep, but you want to divorce me for your mistress, violating the terms of our original marriage agreement, and now, before we're even divorced, you're bringing your mistress into my house. Fu Xiaocheng, who gave you the nerve? Fu Xiaocheng, who told you she's my mistress?" I looked at Lin Jinghuan. "See, you've slept with him countless times, and he doesn't even consider you a mistress." Lin Jinghuan looked really good. being splashed with water didn't make her look disheveled. Instead, it accentuated her charm and allure. Even a simple frown conveyed a fascinating beauty. "Shut up," Fu Shaoqing roared. He lowered his head and explained, "Don't listen to her nonsense." Of course I won't listen." Lin Jinghuan wiped her face and smiled at me. "This kind of divisive tactic is outdated. It's the 21st century. Does having a title really matter that much?" "Who told you I'm with him for the title?" I was unmoved. "I don't care what you're after. It's none of my business how you play around outside. But right now, you're wearing my clothes, and you're in my bedroom. I'm the legal co-owner of this property. Taking something without asking is stealing, and considering that kind of theft as a thrill is being cheap. I can't control you if you want to be cheap, but I have the right to protect my interests." Ignoring Lin Jinghuan's darkening face, I opened the video I had just recorded and looked at Fu Shaocheng. "I'll have the divorce agreement redrafted. The compensation that's due to me and the Xiang family from your Fu family. President Fu, you're a responsible man, so you wouldn't go back on your word." Fu Shaocheng stared at the video, his expression extremely unpleasant. Lin Jinghuan tried to grab the phone, but I dodged her. She sneered, "You think you can threaten me with a mere video? I dare to play. So I'm not afraid of you exposing me. Publicly spreading this kind of thing is illegal. What do you think you are, that I would break the law to deal with you? Fu Shaocheng stopped Lin Jinghuan, his voice icy. "List what you want, but I advise you not to push your luck too far. Be careful not to end up with nothing. It's over. The female supporting character is done for. Those are the male and female leads. Going against them like that will not end well. Why doesn't this female supporting character just die? She ruins things when it's getting good. Just hurry up and die." Although, does the female supporting character not feel scared? The male lead is the president of the Fu Corporation, a big shot in the business world, and the female lead is the daughter of the Lin family. How dare the female supporting character? Afraid? I raised an eyebrow. If what's happening to me is destined to follow the plot of a novel, then there's no point in me being afraid. Thanks for the reminder. You guys continue. Have fun. I told the lawyer about my current situation with Fu Shaocheng and sent the video as evidence. I looked up and saw that the car was heading back to the Zhu family's house, so I said to the driver, "Please take me back to Cloud Mansion. I have property there." The driver was from the Zhu family. Hearing this, he looked at Zhu Shiha. Zhu Shiha had been chatting with someone on his phone ever since he got in the car, and after hearing my words, he gave me a deep look. Then he nodded to the driver without saying anything. I inexplicably breathed a sigh of relief. A dozen minutes later, the car stopped downstairs. Zhu Shiha wanted to walk me to my door. I wanted to refuse, but before I could speak, he pursed his lips, his long eyelashes half lowered, and the hand holding the car door was also weak. Coupled with the bandage on the corner of his mouth and a small bruise on his left cheek, he looked like a wounded little wolf cub. I felt sniped. My mouth was faster than my brain. "Then, want to come up for a glass of water?" Zhu Shiha raised his eyes, a smile on his lips. This house is the one I feel most at home in among all my properties, and I often stayed here before I got married. Zhu Xian and Zhu Shiha occasionally came too, but since I got engaged to Fu Shaocheng, Zhu Shiha hasn't been here, and as a married person, I consciously erased his traces from the house. Coming back here together after a long absence of 4 years gives people a feeling of returning to the past. Disposable slippers are in the cabinet. Find them yourself. I changed my shoes and walked to the kitchen. "What do you want to drink? Juice, coffee, mineral water, or tea?" I attended an auction last month and bought a small box of De Hong Pao Mother Tree tea. The man wrapped his arms around my waist from behind, and I stiffened. "Xiang Shuha." Zhu Shiha rubbed against my shoulder. His chest was hot, and the warm breath aroused goosebumps all over my body. "Let go." I pried his hand away. "I feel uncomfortable." "Xiang Shuha." The male supporting character is having an episode. An episode of rootlessness, needs a purple caress, purple kisses and hugs. The male supporting character is too cunning. In novels, he always uses this trick to act cute and gain sympathy from our female lead. Is he trying to die by using it on the female supporting character? Isn't skin hunger usually caused by a lack of parental love in childhood? The male supporting character didn't have that kind of childhood, so why is he skin hungry? Female supporting character. Hurry up and touch him, he's about to fall apart. Uncomfortable. What's uncomfortable? I pretended not to know and tilted my head to ask. Zhu Shihe tightened his arms and didn't speak. I nudged him. He then said in a deep voice, "You have him in your heart." "Who do I have?" "Zhu Shihe, you've been living under the same roof as him for the past 4 years. It's understandable that you like him. But Xiang Shuhe, I don't want you to be sad for him. I don't want you to not give even a sliver of a chance for him." "Stop, stop. What nonsense are you talking about? You think I like Fu Xiaocheng?" Zhu Shihe mumbled. "Don't you?" "Of course not." Zhu Shihe seemed not to believe it and turned his head to look at me. My face was heated by his breath. "Let go of me first." He let go of me, but not completely. He pinched a corner of my top, as if afraid I would run away. I couldn't help but smile. "Don't use the word like between Fu Xiaocheng and me. I don't like him, and I'm not sad for him. Since I was little, I knew that I would have to marry someone for the sake of a political marriage when I grew up. First, this is the norm in this circle, and second, our family is not like the Zhu family, where both sons and daughters can inherit the family business. Our family is a typical case of the son inheriting the family business, and the daughter is responsible for the political marriage. From the time I could remember, my mother hired a specialist to teach me how to be someone else's wife. Not only must I know how to manage the household and socialize, but I must also be tolerant and generous. I must not be bound by personal feelings, but be able to tolerate my husband's lovers and accept men's dalliances outside. Because I knew this since I was a child, there seemed to be nothing I couldn't accept in my heart. So when the Fu and Xiang families discussed marriage, I agreed without much consideration. For the past 4 years, Fu Xiaocheng has been very cold to me in public and in private, and it is rumored in the circle that I am not favored by him. My family also often nags me to please Fu Xiaocheng and find a way to give him a son as soon as possible, but they seem to forget, the marriage proposal came from the Fu family first. Fu's needed our family's confidential engineering qualifications to bid for the National Core project, and the Xiang family needed Fu's help to solve the overdue loan crisis, a mutually beneficial business. In the end, it became the Xiang family licking the Fu family's boots, and I even had to rely on having children to win Fu Xiaocheng's favor. What kind of feudal dregs is this? To be honest, it's quite boring. As someone with an addiction, I've been at home facing Fu Xiaocheng for the past 4 years and haven't had a single relapse, let alone like him. Of course, I didn't tell Zhu Shihe these thoughts, and I didn't want him to know I had an addiction. Really? Zhu Shihe raised an eyebrow, sounding skeptical, but the corners of his mouth obviously turned up again and again. I leisurely asked, "Why do you think I like him? Have I shown it in any way?" Zhu Shihe, "The other day you said you'd stay with us until you got the divorce certificate. You just had the driver send you back. I thought you weren't giving me a chance because of him, avoiding me." Okay, it had nothing to do with Fu Xiaocheng, but avoiding him was true. This direct ball was a bit sudden. I was a little embarrassed and changed the subject. "Go sit down, I'll get something to drink. What do you want?" But before I could turn around, Zhu Shihe suddenly took half a step forward. "I might not want anything to drink. Me, Xiang Shuhe, I want you to touch me." Huh? Zhu Shihe's Adam's apple bobbed violently. He grabbed my wrist and pressed my palm to his heart, breathing rapidly. His eyes were like fire, skin hunger. "I just want you to touch me, Sister Shuhe." Ah, a cold on the outside, hot on the inside, skin-hungry little wolf dog versus a gentle, decisive, divorced heiress with an addiction. I'm locking in this CP. I've never seen a man with so much to say. If he's sick, he really says he's sick. If he's miserable, he really sells it. Not even a grain of salt, although, but ha ha ha, the female supporting character is so miserable. She's so good at holding back to keep the male supporting character from knowing about her illness. As soon as the male supporting character leaves, she sends herself to the hospital. Yes, I sent myself to the hospital. As a mature woman, my first reaction when Zhu Shihe asked me to touch him was, of course, to refuse. But I didn't expect. My mind was clear, but my hand wasn't. It even had the autonomy to avoid key areas and touch a young man from head to toe. So scary. I don't even know how I endured it at the time. I only knew that as soon as Zhu Shihe left, my body exploded. I had to give myself a shot of tranquilizer and then contact my private doctor and run here to be hospitalized. "How are you feeling now?" Dr. Yen came in and asked. I smiled wryly. "Okay. Dr. Yen adjusted the drip rate of the 4 and sat down next to me with the report to explain the test results. Finally, he said, the increase in various hormone levels and physiological indicators is indeed very large. There are quite a few data points that exceed the standard. But don't be nervous, your condition has been under very good control. 1 or 2 occasional relapses aren't a problem. But, Dr. Yen paused. Patients are most afraid of the doctors, but... I immediately sat up straight. Dr. Yen reassured me. It's nothing else. I just want to say that normal adult men and women have needs in this area. I said it when I first started treating you that this disease is very controllable and there are many treatments. Abstinence is one, but blindly abstaining can be counterproductive. You still need to have an appropriate amount of activity in this area. I understand your situation with President Fu. Let's not talk about the past. Now that you're getting divorced, I suggest you consider a stable partner in the future. Stable partner. Zhu Shihi's face involuntarily appeared in my mind. I was startled. No. I watched Zhu Shihi grow up. I can't take advantage of his feelings or our relationship just because he says he likes me, to get help treating my illness. That would be unfair to him and to me. Dar. Yen smiled, saying, over the years. The reason your condition has been so well controlled isn't just because you've actively cooperated with treatment. Most importantly, you've been able to stay lucid during episodes, knowing what you can and cannot do. That was true. There are many triggers for episodes, and over the years I've had moments of impulse, but I've always stayed clear-headed and never lost control. Then why weren't you lucid this time, Dr. Yen asked. You said Mr. Zhu just asked you to touch him. Given your tolerance, you could have refused, yet you touched him and even endured it until he left. Why? I couldn't answer. It seemed that from the moment Zhu Shiha confessed his feelings, my rationality had turned strangely fuzzy because of his proximity. But the problem was, others had confessed feelings to me before. I never reacted like this. Dr. Yen patted my shoulder. The nature of this illness and its behavioral patterns mostly fall into general and targeted types. You're the targeted type, who shows stronger urges toward a partner or someone you like. I was stunned, like, am I attracted to Zhu Shiha? Dr. Yen raised an eyebrow, liking the body. How is that not liking? I stayed in the hospital for 5 days. During that time, Zhu Xian visited me and asked why this episode was so severe, suggesting she stay with me until I was discharged. I couldn't bring myself to tell her the truth. Much less confess that I'd been hospitalized for so long because I kept dreaming of her brother, which caused my hormone levels and other indicators to remain stubbornly high. I made up a random excuse to wriggle out of it and dissuaded her from staying. Zhu Shiha didn't know why I was hospitalized. He called wanting to visit, but I firmly declined. He was obedient and didn't push. But every day, someone delivered a gift for my recovery. We used to barely talk all year, but these few days. Whenever he had time, he'd send me messages, topics always about things that interested me. By the time I realized, I had already been chatting with him so much without noticing. This made me reflect deeply, could not help but recall many things from the past, like when he was a little over a year old, staggering toward me to be picked up, clinging to me and refusing to come down, like when he was a teenager, braving a downpour, carrying me through the flooded playground. Like when he beat up some rich kid's sons to protect me, and the day I got married at 20, that was his birthday. Fu Xiaoting signed the newly drafted divorce papers. When he left the hospital, his assistant brought me my copy. The live comments said that after I and Zhu Shiha left that day, Fu Xiaoting had a major fight with Lin Jinghuan. These days Lin Jinghuan has been chasing women everywhere, while Fu always misses work, burning with remorse, desperately trying to get his wife back. 2 days later, the cooling-off period ended. My marriage with Fu Xiaoting officially ended, a marriage that had lacked substance from the beginning. When we left the Civil Affairs Bureau, the sun was shining brightly. He headed west, I east. We parted ways. Live comments. Why do I feel a weird pain in my balls? It feels like they could be happy together. The backstory took the lead. The male lead can only be the female leads. They should have divorced long ago, once divorced. The male and female leads can move into a thrilling burnout scene, heroine picking up lovers like it's nothing, hero desperately chasing her back, a mind-blowing primal competition. I can't empathize with the main couple at all. The side characters better stay far away from them. The younger male lead is actually quite good. Brave Shu He, don't fear difficulties. open the car door. There's your brother right in front of you. Ah, he really is here. Zhu Shiha stepped out of the car holding a bouquet of light green delphiniums with small yellow freesias. For the first time in a long while, he was wearing a suit, broad shoulders, narrow waist, long legs. His tailored vest highlighted his slim, athletic waist, firm without looking bulky. Sunlight fell on him, setting off those sharp, deep eyes, giving him a sense of calm wildness, as if a leopard had suddenly put on the skin of a gentleman, especially when he walked towards me step by step. Handing the flowers to me, every move was so elegant, but the hooked corners of his lips, and his eyes staring straight at me, gave me the illusion of being targeted by a beast. Thank you. I took the flowers and smelled them. How did you find time to come over? Don't you have a competition today? The competition is at night. Zhu Shiha blocked the sunlight for me, motioning me to get in the car first. And after getting in the car and closing the door, he continued. I came because I wanted to pick you up. This male supporting character really has a mouth. See, the mouth can be used not only for kissing, biting, and eating, but also for talking. Stop focusing on the mouth. Didn't you see how amazing this suit is? If this was an ABO world, he would definitely be a top alpha. The flowers he sent are green eustoma and yellow freesia. The flower language is confidence, perseverance, vitality, and youth. I touched the freesia petals and couldn't help laughing. Do you like them? Zhu Shiha asked. I like them. They are very beautiful and smell very good. There was a layer of fine sweat on his forehead. I didn't find any tissues in my bag, so I took out one of my handkerchiefs for him. Why did you think of dressing like this in August? Zhu Shiha pulled at his tie with his long fingers, with a hook on the corner of his lips. I don't want to embarrass you, and I don't want to be outdone by him. He really makes me cry. He says whatever he thinks and doesn't hide anything. Those who want to see a long-mouthed romance are in luck. I testify. He tried on all the suits in the entire cloakroom. I wouldn't dare try on so many even if I was shopping at Highland Home. The wolf cub wants to be praised. Sister Shuha, hurry up and praise him. Sister Shuha, Sister Shuha. Ever since Zhu Shiha called me that last time, the barrage has learned it, and they call me Sister Shuha all the time. My face was a little hot, but I acted very calmly. I won't be embarrassed. And he can't compare to you. Zhu Shiha stuffed the handkerchief into his pocket, like last time, the corner of his mouth, and again, a little proud but also a little wanting to pretend to be calm. Yo, look at this worthless look. Sister Shuha hooked the younger brother into a with just one sentence. Hey kid. Did she say you could have the handkerchief? No. Why are you two doing a pure love thing? I'll mute first. I coughed lightly and was about to change the subject. The barrage suddenly exploded. Something big happened. The male and female leads next door have been exposed. Holy crap. They're really horny anytime, anywhere. Can't they consider the feelings of passers-by? Who is shipping this kind of cheating? Love? No. The male and female leads are eating each other's mouths everywhere. Why hasn't their underground love been exposed in the early stages of the novel? Why? I opened my phone. Intimate photos of Fu Xiaocheng and Lin Jinghuan were indeed spreading in all circles, and all major social media platforms were full of news about them. However, the Fu and Lin families were doing public relations, and many articles showed. The work has been deleted. After refreshing, I browsed around and smiled. Fu Xiaocheng is capable. The Fu family will not abandon him because of his lack of personal morality. In the circle, interests always drive everything, and no one will exclude others because of their licentious private lives, but this kind of thing can't be put on the table after all, and the more status a person has, the more they need a fig leaf. Without this fig leaf, it is impossible to say that it has no impact on Fu Xiaocheng at all. Are you sure he won't find out? I held up my phone and looked at Zhu Shiha. He asked me on the phone 2 days ago. He asked if Fu Xiaocheng and Lin Jinghuan's affairs were exposed. Would I care about the outside world's opinions of me? After all, I am also a party involved. I replied to him, I don't care. I knew it was Zhu Shiha's work. He took my phone and swiped it twice. The disgusted expression disappeared as he looked at me. No, he won't have time to deal with this later. Why? Zhu Shiha leaned closer and lowered his voice. 2 years ago, Fu Xiaocheng used an overseas shell company to pledge a chain of debts, trapping the Fang family. The Fang family hasn't figured out that he was behind it. The day before yesterday, I had someone leak a little information. The Fang family is Fu's mortal enemy, but the Fang family has been losing out to Fu Xiaocheng. Me, where did you get the news? Zhu Shihe was silent. His eyes dim, my heart skipped a beat from his gaze. And a guess emerged. Sure enough, from the moment your family and the Fu family discussed the marriage, I had my eye on him. I still have some of his weaknesses in my hand, and I plan to proceed gradually. Barrage, aren't you the male supporting character of the female lead? Aren't you supposed to escort the female lead's happiness? Why are you now helping the female supporting character deal with the male lead? Wait. I remember there's a plot in the novel where the villain from the Fang family met a mysterious person. Little brother, you wouldn't be that mysterious person, would you? The male lead suffered a big loss at the hands of the Fang family that time, but the male supporting character is supposed to be the one who deeply protects the female lead. I smell a conspiracy. I asked Zhu Shihe, so, you knew about him and Lin Jinghuan a long time ago, but you just didn't tell me. Zhu Shihe froze. Finally panicking, but he quickly forced himself to calm down. I found out 3 months ago. I didn't know how to tell you. I found him privately and warned him, but I admit I have selfish motives. I want you to get divorced. I can't stand you continuing to suffer. I don't want you to be unhappy. I don't want you to be reduced to a tool for procreation. I want to love you openly. You didn't know that your husband was messing around with other people for months, Xiang Shuha. You disappoint me too much. The first thing my mother, Ms. Song, said to me at the family banquet that night in front of a crowd of relatives, I wiped my mouth, steady and calm. I'm also quite disappointed in you. Ms. Song was incredulous. What? Me? Fu Xiaocheng was the one who cheated. He was the one who proposed the divorce. I followed your teachings and listened to my husband, but you say you're disappointed in me, implying that I shouldn't have listened to him. Your contradictory education disappoints me. You, Ms. Song's face turned green, and she couldn't, out a word for a long time. I think her self-cultivation is not as good as mine. Look at me, no matter what the outside world says. These years, I've been eating and drinking as I please, taking advantage of my position to make a fortune silently in the Fu family, earning a lot of money. Isn't that more meaningful than caring about which mistress the man is with today and who he's playing around with tomorrow? Hey, you can't say that. Second aunt chimed in, letting you listen to him doesn't mean listening to everything. How can a wife not pay attention to her husband's movements? Illegitimate children have inheritance rights. You'll regret it when the time comes, and you'll have no place to cry. Me, you pay a lot of attention to second uncle's movements. But you still couldn't prevent him from having 2 illegitimate children. Second aunt's face turned green, and second uncle's face turned red. All right. Third aunt smoothed things over. It's all over. There's no point in saying this. He is still so young. Isn't it easy to find another one? I think that young man from the Tan family is good, the eldest cousin from second aunt's family. Are you talking about the third young master of Tan Pharmaceutical? The one who just came back from the States? Third aunt, yes. Tan Lauda is injured and can't have children. Tan Lao heir is not capable. Tan San will be the only one to inherit the Tan family in the future. Although that kid has been playing around a bit outside these years, at least he hasn't caused any deaths, and he's also handsome. He's a good match for our Ahe. How about this, Ahe? See when you have time. I'll set you up so you can get to know each other better, cousin. Ahe just got divorced. Let her rest. Divorce isn't tiring. What's there to rest from? If I didn't lack a daughter, I'd make him my son-in-law at all costs. I took a sip of tea. He can't be a son-in-law. He can be a son-in-law through marriage. Didn't second uncle and his husband get their marriage license abroad a while ago? I think third uncle and young Master Tan also look quite well matched together. The faces of my third uncle and aunt turned green. Look at your good daughter, Ms. Song glared at my dad. She's only been married for a few years and she's already lost the most basic manners. She talks back 10 times for every sentence an elder says. It's because you say 10 sentences, and I retort 1. Xiang Shuhua. I obediently stood up and bowed to my second uncle, second aunt, third uncle, and third aunt, uncles and aunts. I'm inexperienced with my first divorce, so please forgive me if I've offended you. Uncles and aunts, old Xiang, listen to what she's saying. My dad frowned, about to lecture me. I cut him off. I'm not at fault for the divorce from Fu Xiaocheng, and the official seal on the divorce agreement is the best proof. I voluntarily contributed to the family to preserve the family business accumulated by our ancestors, and also because I didn't want to lose my privileged living conditions. Now that the crisis has long been resolved, both families have made a lot of money through mutual exploitation and scheming over the past 4 years, and I've tried my best to maximize the compensation that the Fu family owes us. I consider myself to have completed my mission. I will decide how to proceed from here, and this is not asking for your approval, but informing you, I'm done eating. Please enjoy your meal. As I walked to the front door, my cousin from second aunt's family chased after me. My mom and third aunt just have old-fashioned ideas. They don't mean any harm, don't take it to heart. I also refuted second aunt, but I didn't mean anything against you and Zhao Gu. I hope you don't mind. My cousin smiled. No, what you said is also true. She paused. Do you really not mind Fu Xiaoqing seeing other people? I don't mind, because you don't love him. I pondered for a moment. It has nothing to do with love. It's because I'm clear about what I want. I can't do the thing of fighting over a man with other people, and I won't make myself disgusting for a man. My cousin laughed. If someone else said that, I might think they were exaggerating, but it sounds quite reasonable coming from you. You've been clear-headed since you were a child. You know what you're doing, and love is too cliched for you. I chuckled softly. The 7 emotions and 6 desires are human instincts: yearning for love, longing for romance, and being clear-headed are not contradictory. These things are actually higher-level spiritual pursuits. My cousin raised her eyebrows. Is there something going on? I smiled. Getting into the car, I said to the driver, go to Pareo, Zhu Shiha's club. Miss, it's Miss Lin. We stopped at a red light on the way. I followed the driver's gaze. Lin Jinghuan, in a red dress and black stockings, with a hot figure and stunning beauty, was in front of a high-end club, with 2 different types of men standing on either side of her. One was the son of Rian technology, the other one, coincidentally, was the son-in-law that third aunt wanted, young Master Tan. Lin Jinghuan also saw me. The expression on her face, which was just teasing the 2 men the second before, suddenly tightened, and she walked over on her stiletto heels. Former Mrs. Fu. She crossed her arms and looked down at me condescendingly. I pressed the button to raise the car window. Pa. Lin Jinghuan reached out and blocked the car window. Did you leak the news on purpose? You better not play dumb with me. I know it was you. Do you have evidence that I did it? I asked. When you were making out in public, didn't you think about the surveillance cameras, dashcams, and passers-by around you? Lin Jinghuan's face was ugly. The female supporting character is not allowed to bully my daughter. It's not that she and the male lead didn't think of it. It's that the brain-dead author missed the setting. The author's original setting was for the male lead to get divorced, deal with the female lead and the scum ex-fiancé, and then slowly make their relationship public. During this period, they would have a secret underground relationship. The chasing game between mature men and women is all about the thrill of the push and pull. Why bother with so much logic? It's awkward. Didn't feel anything wrong when reading the novel, I know. Lin Jinghuan sneered. You just can't win his heart, so you can't stand me being with him, can't stand him being good to me. You thought exposing those photos would block our path, but you underestimated his dedication to me. Does Miss Lin know what she's doing? I was too lazy to listen to her. Why do you think that getting involved with your fiancé's uncle is revenge on your fiancé? Lin Jinghuan smiled wryly, letting the call me auntie is so satisfying. Do you still think so now? That's right, I nodded. The green light turned on, and the driver decisively started the car. Good luck. I left a sentence and raised the car window. In the rearview mirror, Lin Jinghuan was so angry that she stomped her feet. Tan Lao San and the young master of Rian technology were coaxing her in a low voice. The 3 of them were close, and the posture was very ambiguous. Wow, the male lead is going to go crazy with jealousy again when he sees this. In the original plot, the female lead should be at the male second's club at this time tonight. The female lead teases the male second while he's signing autographs, and the cold on the outside, pure on the inside wolf cub gets hooked. Ha ha ha, the male lead is here. The 3 men are fighting. I didn't bother with them anymore. Nor did I care about the things between Zhu Shiha and Lin Jinghuan in reality because of the original plot mentioned in the comments. A dozen minutes later, we arrived at the club. Although I refused Zhu Shiha's invitation last time, he still left me the invitation afterwards. The waiter led me to the venue where they were competing, the door opened, deafening cheers, the lights converged on the ring. I saw Zhu Shihe at a glance. He was wearing black shorts, his upper body bare. He was strong and agile, whether it was the opponent's attack or his attack on the opponent. His fists with boxing gloves slammed into his body, each blow making a frightening muffled sound. Under the lights, he looked like he had just come out of the water. Large amounts of sweat rolled down his forehead, slid down his brow bone, and some seeped into his eyes. Zhu Shihe remained unmoved. His offensive was fierce and violent, but his sharp eyes were always frighteningly calm. I'm not interested in boxing. I had watched Zhu Shihe when he first started boxing. He was still young then, tall, but his figure was still the immature and inexperienced of a teenager, and watching him box at that time, I only found it cute. But now, watching him close in step by step, punching his opponent until he had no power to fight back, watching his tense, trembling muscles, watching the patches of sweat sweep across his moving back muscles and narrow waist, watching the sense of power erupting from his whole body, my breathing stopped. The competition ended. The referee raised Zhu Shihe's hand, announcing the winner of tonight's championship, and the cheers from the audience were overwhelming. Zhu Shihe smiled, his restraint hiding his spirited edge. At this moment, he turned around, and met my eyes across the crowd. The young man could be calm and composed after winning the championship, but he was stunned the moment he saw me. I waved at him, visible joy seeped into his eyes, his deep eyes like a pool of lake water that had crushed the blazing sun, hot and gentle, sweeping over my calm heart, rippling a circle of ripples. So, my heart fluttered. After leaving the club, it was almost 12 o'clock. Zhu Xian, who was excitedly asking me in my ear if I thought Zhu Shihe was super handsome and if I wanted to start a, was packed up and taken away by her fiancé. Zhu Shihe drove me home. We didn't say a word on the way. He had showered at the club, the faint scent of sea salt on his body floated over from the side, and something was growing in the quiet car. When we arrived, Zhu Shihe took me to my doorstep, the sound of the door lock opening, then came Zhu Shihe's voice, "Good night." I turned around and met his deep gaze. My heart skipped a beat, and when I realized it, my left pinky finger was already hooked around his right index finger. Zhu Shihe's finger curled. I looked at him, holding the doorframe. Hooking his hand, step by step, I retreated into the entrance hall, closed the door. Zhu Shihe's chest heaved several times, and with a bang, the world seemed to quiet down. Zhu Shihe turned his wrist and gripped my hand. Not angry anymore. I smiled. I wasn't angry in the first place. Even if I loved Fu Xiaocheng, let alone if I didn't, I wouldn't be angry at Zhu Shihe for not telling me about Fu Xiaocheng and Lin Jinghuan. Fu Xiaocheng was the one who did wrong. Zhu Shihe was an outsider between me and him. Zhu Shihe was silent for a moment, then hesitated. In the morning, you ignored me after I spoke. I thought you were angry that I didn't tell you the truth. I thought you, not angry. I interrupted him. It's just that I didn't know how to respond to you at the time. I took his liking as a whim, thinking he was confusing love with our years of friendship. But that morning, his affection and sincerity startled me. For a moment, I was pushed back by him. Then, do you know now? Zhu Shihe asked. I hooked his nape, forcing him to lower his head. Then I looked up, my lips lightly touching his. What do you think? Zhu Shihe's breath deepened. He wrapped his arms around my waist, as if to embed me in his embrace. Think it over carefully, Xiang Shuhe. I'm not kidding with you, and don't take me as some so-called younger brother. What I want is to be with you legitimately. His tone was a little harsh. With an almost imperceptible tremor, the thin summer clothes couldn't block each other's body temperature and contours, and as he spoke, I could clearly feel his body trembling, feel his muscles tensing. My condition was stirring, but my mind was clear. It will take some time to be legitimate. Zhu Shihe pursed his lips. I ignored his tension and smiled, rubbing against them. Immediately after a divorce, you're already seamlessly connecting with someone new. What will others think? Zhu Shihe reacted. The next second, he kissed me deeply. Bedroom. The sound was swallowed by a storm of kisses. A summer fire fell into a pile of autumn leaves. Sparks splashed, and the mountains and fields turned into a blazing ocean. He longed for my touch. I was attached to his embrace. We were like two wanderers who had been lost in the desert for a long time. finally finding an oasis that belonged only to us. From the bedroom to the bathroom, again and again, I called his nickname. Tong Tong, Tong Tong. When I was most unconscious, he embraced me from behind, his low, hoarse voice containing a hint of lingering smile. Don't worry, Shuhajia, it won't get worn out. He really heard it. I was ashamed and burned, weakly hitting him. Bastard. He grabbed my hand and kissed it carefully. I don't know how long it took. Zhu Shiha whispered in my ear. Xiang Shuha, thank you for being willing to let me love you. The consequence of indulgence was that I slept until dusk the next day, and when I opened my eyes, I was covered in barrage comments. Life is bland enough, why can't we see some winning content? Why the black screen until now? Shuhajia, please elaborate. How is the younger brother performing? What specific knowledge? Hearts turning yellow. Shuhajia, Shuhajia. I was so ashamed that I felt hot all over. At this time, a barrage comment mentioned another thing. It said that after I left last night, Fu Shaoqing fought with Tan Lao San and the son of Rian technology for Lin Jinghuan's sake, and Lin Jinghuan deliberately shielded Tan Lao San and the others to anger Fu Shaoqing. Fu Shaoqing left in anger. The remaining two men were ordered home by their respective parents. After they left, Lin Jinghuan, furious, drove away all the bodyguards and drivers had left for her, planning to switch to another club to continue her hunt. As she passed through a small alley, she remembered the angry words she'd spoken to Fu Shaojin during their fight. With a determined heart, she deliberately walked into the alley. Then, it happened, a group of gangsters robbed her of her jewelry and ornaments. During the struggle, her insults provoked them. It was unclear who stabbed her. Fu Shaojin rushed to the scene, but due to abandoning his duties twice in a row, Fu Group lost nearly 30 billion yuan worth of a project on the spot. The Fang family took the opportunity to seize the opening. The Fu family's chaos erupted overnight. Meanwhile, Lin Jinghuan suffered severe damage to her carotid artery. Due to delayed medical treatment, she suffered massive brain hypoxia. Doctors said there was a 95% chance that after surgery she would suffer permanent cognitive impairment or fall into a vegetative state. Some viewers remarked that the protagonist's aura had failed. Others warned women never to walk down dark roads at night. Some staunchly defended Fu Shaojin and Lin Jinghuan, blaming me and Zhu Shizha entirely. If it weren't for the male side character, that weeping follower changing his loyalty and helping the female side character to attack the male and female protagonists, how could the plot go off course? A perfectly good rich, pretty girl was devastated by you too. You should just go die, unable to get the male lead. So they destroy the female lead. Meanwhile, you're here having sex with the side male character. The female side character is truly disgusting. There were many similar comments. Some viewers argued back with them, creating chaos. But soon the offensive comments vanished. I snorted and sat up. The bedroom door opened. Zhu Shizha was standing there, shirtless, with only a towel hanging precariously at his hips, swaying slightly with his movement. Certain scenes from last night involuntarily flashed through my mind, and the comments continued poisoning me. What are you thinking about? Zhu Shizha set down the tray in his hand, sat down, and pulled me out of the covers, making me sit on his lap. I blurted out, talent is abundant. The comments erupted in laughter. I suddenly realized what I'd said. I immediately scrambled to get out of Zhu Shizha's embrace, but he grabbed my waist and pulled me back. The incident involving the Fu and Lin families had become a major scandal. Fu Shaojin's negligence caused unprecedented losses for the Fu Group, forcing him to step down as CEO. After initial rescue, Lin Jinghuan, no longer facing life-threatening danger, was transferred to a top-level medical center in Switzerland. Fu Shaojin followed her, but he wasn't welcomed by the Lin family, who held him fully responsible for the incident. The bodyguards and drivers Lin Jinghuan had dismissed that day were blacklisted both within and outside the circle. As for those gangsters, they were likely fearless in their ignorance. Over the past couple of years, they had targeted single wealthy youths or drunkards near various clubs, always managing to escape, but this time their luck had clearly run out. Viewers asked about Lin Jinghuan's ordeal. Don't you and Zhu Shizha feel guilty? Me. Why should I feel guilty? It was a fact that Fu Shaojin had coldly treated me for 4 entire years. It was a fact that he let me become a gossip topic within the industry. It was a fact that he ignored my dignity by cheating on me and boldly brought that someone into my territory to do whatever she wanted. I'm not a saint. I won't suddenly extend boundless compassion and forgive someone simply because they're now in a difficult situation after hurting me. Besides, although it's true that Zhu Shizhe and I changed the story, it was Fu Shaozhen and his side who started the argument and made the bet. I'm not so foolish as to take others' mistakes onto my own shoulders. 2 days after we officially became a couple, I told Zhu Shizhe about my addiction. He was surprised, but only briefly. That afternoon, I took him to see Dr. Yan. Yan gave us a health checklist. Less than 5 minutes after receiving the form, Zhu Shizhe had memorized it perfectly. And from then on, he strictly followed every medical instruction. Poor me, finally getting to live it up. But only half the time I could eat my fill. The second week of our relationship, Zhu Shizhe gave me a stack of examination reports issued by top international hospitals and leading medical teams. My health certificate. Zhu Shizhe raised his eyebrows. I looked through it suspiciously, and found that the reports were issued the day before I got my divorce certificate with Fu Shaocheng. Besides a full set of physical examination reports, the rest were male health examination reports, a 9-valent vaccine certificate that he completed half a year ago, and a vasectomy certificate. I was stunned. Zhu Shizhe still went straight to the point. I want you to know that I am very healthy, and I want you to know that I want to protect the person I love. He pulled out the vasectomy certificate. I have regular checkups for this, and the current situation is good. But I still need to pay attention to measures to ensure 100%. I held his hand. Do you not want children in the future? Or is it temporary? Zhu Shizhe held my hand in return. If I say I don't want them now, and I won't want them in the future, you will definitely think that my words are too absolute and difficult to believe, so I won't guarantee anything. I just can't bear you suffering through childbirth, and I can't bear to give the time I finally have with you to someone else. As for how long this reluctance will last, I hope you can give me a chance to let time prove it. Of course, if you want children, I am willing to cooperate. A man under 21 is still too young, and there is still a bit of youthful arrogance between his eyebrows, but his eyes were focused and open, his palm was warm. I may not be deeply convinced by his words, but it would be a lie to say that I wasn't touched. But, half a year ago, he and I hadn't even had a divorce yet. And you had the foresight to get the 9-valent vaccine and a vasectomy. Zhu Shihe's eyes flickered. I narrowed my eyes. He coughed. There were rumors outside that you and he were not getting along, and my sister didn't scold Fu Shaocheng less at home. I felt sorry for you, and I was also angry. But I have fantasized more than once that I still have a chance, and I think I don't want anyone but you in my life. So I made preparations. If you and him are still in that state when I turn 22, I want to. Before he finished speaking, he blushed for the first time, and then bit my lip in embarrassment. I wanted to laugh, but my eyes were astringent. Without asking any further questions, I put my arms around his neck, and fell on the sofa with him. Just then, a sharp bang suddenly came from the door. Jia, it was Zhu Xian. She has the password to my door. Zhu Shizhe and I turned our heads together. I saw Zhu Xian covering her mouth. Her eyes were as wide as copper bells. Her expression was shocked, excited, and strangely distorted. Then, without waiting for us to speak, she raised her phone. You guys continue. Pretend I don't exist. Me, Zhu Shizhe. On the day of Zhu Shihe's 22nd birthday, we got our marriage certificate. From now on, his birthday is no longer my and Fu Shaocheng's wedding anniversary, but my and his anniversary. 8 years have passed like water. I am Mrs. Zhu, and also young Master Xiang. Zhu Shizhe became the chief communications officer of Zhu's group. Time has washed away the youthfulness and arrogance on his body, and completely transformed him into a man who stands tall. On Zhu Shihe's 30th birthday, the Zhu family held a grand birthday banquet for him. Once it was past midnight, he and I boarded a private plane and started our 8th wedding anniversary honeymoon. We went to Lapland to look up at the aurora, to Dubai to overlook the ancient Red Desert, and to Polynesia to swim with manta rays. Zhu Shizhe at 30 was amazingly more mature in every way than he was at 20. In every way, he seemed to have endless energy. We played outside during the day, and at night we were still in the room, unlocking all kinds of knowledge, enjoying it. the night before returning to Beijing, we encountered a meteor shower. I don't know which switch I triggered, but that night he was especially indulgent, dazedly. I heard him say, "Xiang Shuha, I can't love you enough, for the next life, the one after that, too, I want to be with you, Sister Shuha, say you love me." I wrapped my arms around his neck. "I love you, Tong Tong, it's Xiang Shuha who loves Zhu Shiha." At that moment, several lines of text flashed before my eyes, male and female supporting characters, consciousness completely suppressed, aura, detached, from Lin Jinghuan and Fu Xiaocheng, world correction complete. Characters return to their original lives. There are no fixed main or supporting characters in this world anymore. What's going on? When did the side characters in the novel start leading their own lives? Shouldn't they serve the protagonists? So, does this mean the supporting characters were controlled by this aura, while conscious, no main or secondary characters anymore? What exactly are we watching now? That last line hit me. The world no longer has predetermined main or supporting characters. Everyone is the protagonist of their own life. Never mind who's the main or supporting character anymore. It's HD beautiful, our life has improved. As consciousness faded, I held him tighter. "I love you, Zhu Shiha." The 30th year of knowing each other, the 10th year together, Xiang Shuha loves Zhu Shiha. Zhu Shiha's perspective. My sister has a good friend named Xiang Shuha. She doesn't smile much, but she isn't at all fierce. She doesn't suddenly yell at me or scare me like my sister does. Nor does she call me Tong and laugh at me for being a dork. My sister often pinches my face until it hurts. I don't like that. Xiang Shuha also pokes my cheeks, but she does it gently. It feels nice. I like it. My sister always shoves things into my mouth, making it hurt, and laughs, saying I look like a frog. Xiang Shuha also feeds me, but she makes me sit on her lap, lets me drink water first, and then slowly feeds me, using her little handkerchief to wipe my mouth, asking if I want more. Her voice is especially beautiful, like wind blowing through cotton candy. My sister comes again to the classroom door and yells, Tong. Can she stop calling me that? Everyone laughs at me. I'm not happy, Zhu Shiha. Xiang Shuha waves at me. I walk over, and she hands me a box of Eagle little crackers. My sister wipes my head furiously. How good is your Shuha sister to you? She never forgets to make little cookies for you even during baking class, made especially for me. Try and see if it tastes good. If it doesn't, don't eat it. Thank you, I'll eat it. My sister. Who are you thanking? Call her Shuha sister. Thank you, Xiang Shuha. I don't want to call her sister. Sisters only call me Tong. I went to bring them something. I saw a boy giving Xiang Shuha a love letter, while my sister and some others mocked her from the side. Xiang Shuha stood there. She wore a French-style light green blouse, a white skirt, shiny little leather shoes, and lace-edged stockings. Sunlight fell on her. She looked like a quiet lotus blooming in a pond, beautiful enough to captivate the eyes. I understood what they were doing. I felt not happy. Xiang Shuha finished talking to that boy, but I didn't hear what they said. Zhu Shiha, she walked toward me. I asked, strangely, did you agree to him? Xiang Shuha paused, then touched my head. Don't think about such things at such a young age. It's not true. I wanted to laugh, but held it back. My sister said Xiang Shuha fell in love with a man older than her, and showed me photos of them reading together, a handsome man and a beautiful woman. I was so annoyed. I went to the boxing room to vent, accidentally got hit by equipment, so irritating. Suddenly, heavy rain poured down. My sister had taken a day off from school the previous night due to stomach upset, and Xiang's driver was stuck in traffic. Xiang Shuha came home with me. I glanced at her new limited edition lamb leather shoes, then turned around and crouched in front of her. Get on. No. Xiang Shuha shook her head. You can't carry me. I knew she thought I was small. But I'm 173 centimeters this year, already 5 centimeters taller than her. I can lift a 120-pound sandbag. She's 92 pounds. I pursed my lips and didn't get up. She was silent for a few seconds, then leaned on my back. Zhu Shiha, thank you. That night, I had a dream. I dreamed of Xiang Shuha being drenched by the rain. She was scared by the way I hit people. I panicked, not wanting her to be afraid of me, but she suddenly cried. her tears falling on the back of my hand. What about you if you beat them to death? Zhu Shiha, don't do that again. Suddenly, I realized there was something wrong with me. She was so sad, but I thought she looked so beautiful when she cried. I was happy that she was worried about me, and I tried my best to restrain the urge to wipe away her tears. Extreme joy turns to sorrow. That's probably it. The Xiang and Fu families announced their marriage. 19-year-old Xiang Shuha and 24-year-old Fu Xiaocheng got engaged. And they would hold their wedding when she turned 20. They got married on my birthday. What are you doing standing there? Offer a toast. My sister reminded me. I raised my glass vaguely towards Xiang Shuha, who was holding Fu Xiaocheng's arm. Congratulations. May you have a happy marriage and a long life together. I attended her graduation ceremony. She became a full-time Mrs. Fu. My birthday is their wedding anniversary. She came to my coming-of-age ceremony with Fu Xiaocheng. They were not compatible, and she seemed to smile even less than before. I felt sorry for her and wanted to smash Fu Xiaocheng's ice-cold face, but I couldn't do anything, knowing I shouldn't. I still felt shamefully happy. I miss her so much in my midnight dreams. My parents said that the Xiang family was urging Xiang Shuha to have children with Fu Xiaocheng, and my sister called her to ask for details. Her tone was indifferent. I broke the chopsticks. I was jealous of Fu Xiaocheng. Mad with jealousy, the person he doesn't cherish is someone I can only dream of. If it were me, I made a decision. I got vaccinated and had a vasectomy. My parents, who heard the news, said, "It's up to you, you are the master of your own life." 20 years old Fu Xiaocheng cheated. I warned him, but selfishly didn't tell Xiang Shuha about it. They really are getting divorced. I'm sorry, Xiang Shuha. I feel full of energy. More than half a month of excitement finally subsided through the competition, and I fell asleep confused. I had another dream. I dreamed that Xiang Shuha was divorced, and I couldn't wait to pursue her, but my body was out of control. I fell in love with Lin Jinghuan, the woman who got together with Fu Xiaocheng. I did everything for this woman. What about Xiang Shuha? She changed her past nature and accepted anyone, and I seemed to have forgotten her. Forgotten my obsession for many years. I was awakened in fright and ran home without saying a word. The door at home was not closed. She and my sister were talking about me. Then my brother, a rare 20-year-old CN with no bad habits, big breasts, strong and energetic, 10 times a night. You deserve it, Xiang Shuha. 10 times. Are you sure it won't wear out? I glanced down. I regret that today's pants are not gray. She looked over, her face very red. I pretended not to hear them talking. She slept in the bedroom next door. I couldn't sleep, so I quietly opened the door and looked towards her. I vaguely heard her shouting something, seeming to be in pain. I was anxious and opened the door with a spare key. Don't touch me, let go, don't. Xiang Shuha had a nightmare. I hugged her and comforted her. She calmed down, but I couldn't bear to let go. Xiang Shuha, I miss her so much. I miss her so much that my whole body aches. Zhu Shiha. She woke up and called my name. I struggled to tear my hands away from her body and explained pretentiously, and she didn't suspect anything, but the look in her eyes was sad. Tell me, what kind of girl do you like? I thought she had seen through my mind. But thankfully, it was a false alarm. She asked twice. I couldn't restrain myself, and I didn't want to hold back anymore. You, what? You, Xiang Shuha. I like you. After hearing the 2 stories above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.